How's everyone doing? This is Jeff, Charting Horse Value, with my favorite guest, Sara Elbadwi from Outrun the Odds. Is her Twitter account, and but she's also with Horse Racing Nation. How you doing, Sara?
Great. You flatter me so much saying I'm your favorite guest. That's so kind of you. One of my favorite people to do videos with, and you'll be joining the HRN family soon enough. So that's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and leak it here.
Ed and I already did. So.
Oh, okay, good. Well, starting Wednesday, my product will be available on Horse Racing Nation, and really excited to be partnering with them and really increase my presence through Horse Racing Nation. And they got a great website, great products, and I think my product will be complimentary. So I'm really excited. Thank you for bringing that up, Sara.
Too bad I didn't let you spoil it firsthand, but since we mentioned it in a video last week, I figured I would trash the party and just mention that you'll be joining us. So yeah, super excited. I think your product will do very well on our site, like you said.
That's great. Yeah. June 1st will be the first day that my product will be offered, and there'll be both daily and monthly options, and excited to be a part of that. Now, what we're going to be talking about today is Lone Star Million Day, which, they started this a long time ago, and it was really a great day of racing. But then, Lone Star really went through a tough phase where they really didn't have their act together, and it went away. And they still had a couple decent races during the meet, but the Lone Star Million Day went away. Well, it's back, and it's a quality card. There's 6 stakes races, including 1 Grade 3. I think they're trying to get that turf race into Grade 3 status as well. They've got a ways to go. I don't think the field this year is graded status, but they're working on it, and it's a great day of racing. And the weather tomorrow will be warm, but not hot, not super hot. I'll be there live. Maybe I'll make a few live tweets, but it's just a great day of racing. And, by the way, I'm giving my chart out for free, and you can go to my website, chartinghorsevalue.com, and there's a free page. And on that free page, you'll see my Lone Star chart for tomorrow. And I'll be referencing it as Sara and I are talking today. I don't know if I'll pull it up or not. I might, but mostly I'll just be referencing it. And feel free to follow along and use it tomorrow. We're going to be doing the stakes races. I'll introduce the race. Sara will give her picks. I'll give my thoughts on the race. And we're just going to cover the 6 stakes races, which are all pretty competitive. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, race 7. This is the Chamberlain Bridge, which was a very good grass sprinter, I think owned by Carl Moore, trained by Brett Calhoun. And he's actually got a horse in this race, Carl Moore. But this is 5 furlongs to the turf, listed stakes for $100,000. And I'll let Sara kick us off.
Yeah, so your 50-cent pick 6 all stakes action starts here, and number 6, Excess Magic, clearly the horse to beat, but it's 6-5 on the morning line. I was looking elsewhere, and the horse that captured my attention the most was actually number 2, Spirit Animal. This horse is 20-1 on the morning line, and it kind of a wild card play in here, but in his 13 career starts, most of which were for trainer Chad Brown, he's actually never sprinted on the turf, which now he gets to do for the first time in his career. He had been facing much, much tougher company in graded stakes. He actually ran in the Grade 2 Seabiscuit, the Grade 1 Frankie Kilroe Mile. This is not that type of company that he's going to be facing in here. And he did have a comeback race last time out, sprinting on the synthetic, going 6 furlongs at Presque Isle, where he finished second. Now he comes in here at a huge price. If for some reason he ends up loving this sprint distance on the turf, I think that he could be very competitive in here, and was one that I was really interested in using it underneath, maybe as a win candidate on my pick 6 ticket as well.
That's a nice pick. Did you look at my charts?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Let me go ahead and share my chart for this particular race. Um, I don't know if it's going to work. Huh. It's not going to work right now. Okay. So that horse you mentioned, Spirit Animal, shows up third on my chart and gets the plus sign, which is obviously, and by the way, there's 2 plus horses in that race. That's very rare. I mean, basically means I had a tie. And yeah, I mean, the horse is class. I have no problems with anyone picking that horse. I think that horse is a really good pick underneath. He's a really good closer. The thing, so I've been looking at, how the tracks has been playing at Lone Star, and it's kind of gotten back to normal. It was really operating strange the first week, especially on the dirt. Horses were coming from behind. But really, it's gotten back to normal. We've gotten some good rain. They put a bunch of sand on the course. That's all, I think, being packed down with the rain, and now there's some heat. The course is playing fast, and horses near the lead, especially on the grass, are doing quite well. So I think the horse is a little bit at a disadvantage, trying to cut back from really running mostly mile and above. And I don't love that $20,000 effort they put that horse in. I mean, they got away with it, but they put that horse in for 20 grand. Now he's going to try running for $100,000 in a stakes race, and I think I would only use him underneath. I think the race is really interesting. By the way, that Spirit Animal, I think, is making a 12-day turnaround. That's aggressive, coming from Presque Isle on 12 days. The Excess Magic makes complete sense, is a closer. But again, I feel like the turf sprints at Lone Star are really favoring speed. Arch of Dust, I like that horse quite a bit, but that horse was beat by Excess Magic pretty handily in his last race. So I'm kind of leaning towards a horse called Sign of War. Sign of War also gets the plus. It's 5-1. I think we're going to get every bit of that 5-1. And that horse won at Lone Star the Derby weekend, May 6th. I think it was a Friday, and ran a winning race in 56-3. And if you look at Excess Magic, who won one day later, ran in 57-1. Okay. I know times, these are days apart. This is one day apart. The track wasn't that different. And I mean, I was impressed by that 56-3. I think this horse is going to lay first or second early and is going to kick home. It'd be tough to pass. You're going to get the closers coming in, Excess Magic and Spirit Animal, the horse you liked. But I'm going to go with Sign of War. Lukewarm selection. What do you think of that one?
I didn't look at this horse too much, but I'm going to have to take a closer look now, knowing that this one also gets the plus grade on your chart. With Spirit Animal, I hear everything you're saying about the questions. He did show more speed than he ever has last time out, too. Yeah. So I will kind of be curious to see where they place him early on. Maybe a change of tactics works out as well, but I don't blame anybody for taking a look at somebody else outside of Excess Magic, because that horse is going to take a ton of money.
You got to play against that horse, especially with the pace setup. And I got no problem with Spirit Animal. And if you get 20-1, that's a solid bet. And this is definitely the kind of race where you could key that horse underneath in a trifecta, play a little saver win bet on top, and do quite well. So anyway, I like our picks. We're on, I think, similar horses. Take a hard look though at that Sign of War. That last race was damn good. All right, we're going to move on to race 8. Got 2 straight sprints coming up, 6 furlongs on the dirt. This one's for the fillies and mare, 3 and up, and they just call it the Memorial Day Sprint. What did you think of it?
This is another one where I want to try to beat the favorite in Calypso, who is getting Lasix for the first time. She's just really hard to trust. I mean, she's had no success outside of California so far. If you do want to make excuses for those efforts, I feel like you can, since she did bleed in the 8 bells in 2021, did come back with a win in the Grade 1 La Brea after that effort. But these former Bafferts always kind of raise some questions for me, and I don't think we've seen them have the same form going forward for other trainers as they did for him on a number of different occasions with different horses. So last time out, maybe you could say it was a wet track in the Grade 1 Madison, and this is not as competitive as a field, but I just don't really trust this horse at 7-5. I think she's going to be a very hammered favorite, just like Excess Magic in the first race that we talked about. But as far as where else to go in here, I really was interested in number 4, Skinny Dip. She's getting back on the dirt after 2 turf starts. She does have better dirt figures than turf ones as far as Beyer speed figures go. And she is also second off a layoff now. She did win last time that she was on the dirt. However, that was an off the turf race. And she did face tougher company on the turf than I feel like she's facing in here. So if I was looking outside of the favorite, which I am, that's where I would go first. And then, of course, the number 5, our Iris Rose, seems to be the other horse that makes sense in this spot. And she does have some early speed as well.
Yeah. I think that 6 furlong sprints are favoring a little bit the speed right now. Skinny Dip, I'm a little curious why they've entered this horse on the turf 5 of the last 6 times. They haven't entered this horse on the dirt. Well, once, I guess, back in April of last year. It's a little curious to me. And horse has no wins on the turf, and 5 of the last 6 times they've put it in the turf. I'm wondering if the horse is a little got a few issues, and that's why they've gone that direction. But the horse actually does pretty good on my charts. But I'm not going to go that direction. Calypso, I totally agree with you. This is a much easier spot. Okay. This horse has been running in the Madison, but the horse has been running 7 furlongs and longer. And now is going to be running 6 furlongs. Does have a victory a long time ago, a couple years ago almost, going 6 furlongs. But yeah, I don't trust this horse either. I hope they hammer this horse because I don't think this is a 7-5 shot at all. That last effort was bad. And, so I don't like this horse. Astus and I respect a lot, and he's bringing this horse in. And this is definitely a much easier company. I'm going to go with our Iris Rose, who is 5 for 16 lifetime, 6 for his last 11 with 4 seconds. So 10 for 11 in the exacta. And the horse is just a win machine. And a couple of those losses, by the way, were a mile on the turf, not his best distance, or her best distance, sorry. This horse just wins. And I think this horse is Todd Fincher, good trainer. I don't love Aramia, I'll be honest, but I'm going to accept it. And defending champ, by the way. This horse won this race a year ago, 31st of May. Only has 2 starts since. So actually might improve here, coming 3rd off the layoff. And looked like the horse had a little bit of maybe some issues last time. I don't know. I like this horse a lot. Win machine. Hope I get every bit of that 5-2. And I think this horse will be laying in a great spot early, and it's going to be tough to run down. So that's the direction I'm going to go on this one.
Yeah, I agree completely. I think if you want someone outside of who's likely to be the heavy favorite, that one is the one that makes the absolute most sense, and you'll get a better price just because of Calypso's presence.
Yeah. And I think I would use your horse. I like your Skinny Dip at least a little bit. I don't think this particular race in the sequence is not the deepest. Okay. Right. So this one, I think, you could take an Our Iris and single it. By the way, is it mandatory payout tomorrow on the pick 6? I don't know
if it's mandatory payout. I know it is at Santa Anita, though.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. We're going to go to race 9, which is basically the male counterpart. 6 furlongs, sprinting for 100,000. I can't remember who they named this race after. See if I can figure that out.
Speightstown, actually.
Speightstown. So Speightstown won the Breeders' Cup at Lone Star. That's why they named it after him. So great little $100,000 race. What are you thinking?
So I'm really concerned about 7 Mr. Moneybags, who is 3-1 second choice on the morning line, because his last race, he ran a 76 Buyer speed figure in what was basically a match race that he was destined to win. There was only one other horse in there. He had already beaten that horse before. And he hasn't run a figure that low, sprinting on the dirt, going this 6 furlong distance since his debut in 2018. 27 career starts, 13 wins, 7 seconds, 4 thirds, model of consistency. That last race was his worst effort by far at this distance since he started running, period. And to me, that's a huge red flag to take this horse in stakes company next time out. And then with number 9, Payne, the 90 Buyer speed figure last time out, I just don't really trust that necessarily. He was 69-1 in that race at Keeneland, finishing behind Soup and Sandwich, Escape Route, Awesome Jerry, Highly Motivated. Obviously, much tougher company than he's going to be facing in here. But if you take out that 90 figure, he doesn't really figure to be a 5-2 shot in this race. All of his prior efforts don't necessarily stack up against this kind of company. So I was looking for a price in here, and I found that I went to Crazy Legs Hirsch in the number 8 horse, 15-1 on the morning line. He's improved lately, 3 seconds and 2 wins so far this year. He has an 88 Buyer speed figure last time out. He is a closer, but I feel as though there could be some speed in here with the 2, 5, 6, and maybe the 7 showing some early interest. So that's where I went.
Nice pick. So first of all, I don't like Payne. Very low on my chart. I think the horse is like 5th on my chart, and really, I can't come up with any positives. The trainer looks weak, and I don't like the running style. This race does not look like there's much speed in it. I think the 2 will try to go to the lead, and I think Mr. Moneybags is going to get a very good trip. Just a few comments. First of all, Mr. Moneybags, you look at this horse's track record, 2 of his losses were to Greeley and Ben, who's would be odds on in this race. Greeley and Ben's a great horse. Okay, that's 2 of his losses. He did lose to Empire of Gold last summer, I think, but Empire Gold is not the same horse since. And they switched the jockey to Aramia. The horse has run very poorly his last 2 efforts, and lost to It Makes Sense in this race. So I don't really like that much in here. So I really think Empire Gold just not at his best. The horse, my pick's Mr. Moneybags, but the other horse I looked at is Macron, who for Asmussen, this horse is extremely consistent. First, seconds, thirds, never runs a bad race. But heavily raced over there at Oaklawn, hasn't had any breaks in training at all. Feel like this is a nice horse. Maybe could run probably hit the trifecta. But I'm going to go somewhere else for the win. I'm going to go with Mr. Moneybags. Mr. Moneybags, I agree that he was 1-10 in that race. Okay. And that race was on April 29th. And I believe that was the opening weekend where strange things were happening on the dirt. And I think, I'd have to look at that replay again, but that might be the excuse for this effort he had. I think the track is back to where it is. Horses are going to sit very close early. And this trainer, by the way, wouldn't you love to own a 700 Texas spread that makes $700,000? What a Texas spread this is. Mm-hmm. And I think this is just a solid horse and a win machine. I'm going to go Mr. Moneybags. I think that 1-10 effort, it was a strange weekend of racing at Lone Star. And I think the horse is going to get back to his best efforts.
Yeah, you bring up a great point. If you do throw out that effort and if you have an excuse for it, which you do, and of course, when there's less horses in a race, strange things can happen, just like a match race or a 3 or 4 horse field. So if you do take that one out and there was a reason for that, he's kind of the horse to beat to me.
Yeah.
I just couldn't see past it.
I think Algebra is I'm going strictly off memory, but I think Algebra is a Winchell horse.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he is.
Yeah. and I think he got inside, and that horse just was not very impressive, and he ran really, really well that day to beat Mr. Moneybags, but it was just a goofy race, and I'm gonna give Mr. Moneybags a second chance. But Crazy Legs Hirsch, nice long shot. Good luck to you on that one. Race 10, 8 furlongs on the turf. I think they're calling this the Ouija board. No, this is the Ouija board distaff. Of course, Ouija board also raced to the Breeders' Cup at Lone Star, and that horse was great filly and mare turf horse. So they're trying to, this is for 200,000. They're trying to attract some decent competition in here. I think they've got a bunch of grade 2, grade 3 type horses in here that never win, are trying to get a win now and graded, get some red, black pipe win race for their broodmare prospect. But so what do you think? 200,000 filly mare turf.
This is where I don't really have a super creative opinion. I think the 9 Park Avenue just kind of lays over this field. She's 9 to 5 on the morning line, but she's the speed. She's getting Lasix for the first time. She only has 1 turf start so far, but that was a 90 buyer speed figure, which is better than what she's run on the dirt. And when she has been running on the dirt, she's faced some very classy company in California, such as Merneath, CC, as time goes by, horses that are just better horses than what she's going to be facing in here. So let's say the turf is her preferred surface, which it seems like it might be. And with the tactical edge that she has over this field, this is a horse that I was really prepared to single in my pick 6.
Totally agree. Avenue de France and Park Avenue, both avenues in their name, were both ridden by Espinoza last time. Espinoza has ridden Avenue de France 3 times and has won all 3 times. And Espinoza chooses Park Avenue. I think that's very telling. And by the way, he's never even ridden Park Avenue. I think Park Avenue's got a great tactical edge in this race. There's very little speed, and he'll get a superb trip up front. And the track lately, for especially turf routes, has been very speed favoring. I think this horse is extremely, extremely tough. So I'm with you completely on the single. The other horse I liked, besides the 2 I mentioned, was the 2. No, not the 2. Shirley Semple. It was Island Highway, the 6. Broberg and Eichelberry. This horse is pretty solid. This horse 2 back in Houston beat Queenella, beat Brandon's Bob, and then lost the last race, gave it the lead late. But I think today the pace is going to be slower, and this horse merits a shot to hit the board. I don't know if he can beat Park Avenue, but I think this horse can definitely hit the board. A couple horses in here coming off 10-day rest, and that's Queenella and the other horse, Shirley's Temple, coming off 10-day rest or 11-day rest. So I think, underneath only on both those horses. Nice horses, but I'm going to take Park Avenue on top and hope Island Hideaway can come in second. So nice. We're on the same horse there. I think it's pretty predictable.
Yes, I agree completely.
Yeah. All right, the Texas Derby, $300,000 race. And quite a few horses coming in here that were racing on the Triple Crown Trail. Not the best ones, obviously, but they're trying to pick up a decent purse. So Mount 16th on the dirt. Who do you like?
Yeah, I think the Floridians both seem pretty tough in this spot, bookending the field with the number 1 Strike Hard and the number 8 AP Secret, both, like you said, on the Kentucky Derby Trail and weren't successful in that venture, but now facing lesser company. The thing about this race is number 2 Win the Day at a short price at 7-2. I don't like this horse at all. Why is this horse 7-2? He makes absolutely no sense in here. And he's coming out of the Santa Anita Derby. And we've seen those horses go on to flop, such as Messier, Taba, Happy Jack. why do I want Win the Day coming out of races against horses that weren't successful on the Triple Crown Trail instead of AP Secret and Strike Hard, who were running against the horses that have been successful on the Triple Crown Trail, like Early Voting, Mo Donegal, even Skippy Longstocking was fifth in the Preakness instead of nowhere like Happy Jack. So those were the two I was most interested in. And then the speed is likely to come from number 7, Cover Me Up, who was doing decently out in California and then showed up at Keeneland. His last was on Derby Day, and that was behind Creative Minister. We also saw him come back to run third in the Preakness. So I want the horses that have been facing the ones that have gone on to be more successful against Tough Company instead of the one that has faced the Tough Company that then didn't show up.
I totally agree with you. So who do you like to win? I don't like Win the Day either.
I guess from a tactical edge, I would go with the 7, Cover Me Up, and AP Secret is likely to sit closer than Strike Hard. Let's say if there's a lot of pace up front, then Strike Hard is the closer that I like the most. But I would use all 3 in multis, which isn't the best strategy, but I don't like one of them so much more so than the other that I would say this is the top one.
Yeah. So Cover Me, I think those are the top 3. Yeah. Cover Me Up, AP Secret, and Strike Hard. So we're on the same 3. Cover Me Up does get, I think, a pretty good trip here, and AP Secret will probably be sitting second, just outside Cover Me Up. We'll see how long they can take them. The dirt routes at Lone Star have been playing pretty fair. You can win from pretty much anywhere. Cover Me Up, basically running optional claiming races. This is a major step up in competition. I'm not sure he's ready for it. So then that leaves you with the 8 AP Secret or the 1 Strike Hard. And AP Secret is on top of my chart and gets the spot play with the K+ grade, which sounds really, really good. And that effort in the Wood Memorial, that's legit. I mean, he was 4th in a field of 8. 5 lengths back. They went really fast that day. That race has come back fair. I mean, Early Voting won the Preakness. Mo Donegal ran very well in the Derby, got caught very wide in the stretch. I'm not exaggerating. The horse was 12 wide coming into the stretch, ran on great for 5th. So that's a very nice effort, okay? But AP Secret ran against Strike Hard last December, and Strike Hard beat him. Okay. And so I'm having a tough time picking between these two. I might just go too deep. Strike Hard and AP Secret. Strike Hard is more of the closer. Okay. And that's maybe a slight disadvantage in here. But coming out of a really nice race, optional claiming, but with 135-1. Okay. So, does get the railroad off, gets to save some ground in that first turn. Hopefully gets to come running and probably goes 1-8. That's probably the finish with Cover Me Up, I think, tiring up a little bit. But I'm gonna go with Strike Hard, just based on the fact that he's coming off a win and he has beaten AP Secret in the past.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And I would just be extremely surprised if it was anyone except those 3 to end up in the winner's circle in there.
Shocked. Right. And now the finale, which is the only greatest stakes we get, and that's the Steve Stuxton mile. $400,000 purse going a mile only. Pretty short run into that first turn, and kind of favoring speed at a mile because of that very short run to the first turn. But what are you thinking?
So I don't like Shaz at all, and I'm a little dubious on Elector as well. So the horse that I noticed a very interesting trend for was actually the number 7, Popular Kid, one of the 2 older veterans in this field, just like Rated R Superstar. I've noticed a couple times in his past performances when he's had a turf race, he has come back with a win on the dirt. This happened last year. He was in a turf race at Remington, I believe against, the Remington Green Stakes. He was 4th in there behind Spooky Channel. He came back with a dirt win after that. If you go back to May of last year, same thing, turf race translated into a dirt win. If you go back all the way to 2018 at Del Mar, same exact thing. A turf race translates into a dirt win for this horse, and a 15-1 on the morning line with this very specific thing popping up as being successful for him. I had to throw him into my tickets. And then Rated R Superstar has a very similar type of one good effort, one poor effort, one good effort, poor effort, on and off type of thing going for him this year. If that holds true, he's due for a win in this spot once again. So I'll be curious to see if either trend holds true for these horses coming in here. And I just don't love the 2 shorter prices.
I'm with you completely. And I like both horses you spiked out. There's a bunch of short prices in here: Shaz, Mish, and Elector. Those are the 3 shortest prices. All very inexperienced horses. Potentially one of them is legit, but it's very hard to tell. Okay, they're all taking major steps up in competition and shipping in, and I don't know how good they are, honestly. I think the best of the 3 is Shaz, but again, very short price, and that's the ex Baffert horse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Sean McCarthy's training now. I mean, I don't know what the buyer was, but 137 going a mile is not exactly flying, okay? And going to be racing against much tougher in here. This race to me looks loaded with speed. Okay. And I mean, I was looking at the pace and I could easily see Minot Star is going to definitely show speed. Flash of Mischief is definitely showing speed. Mish, Elector, Shaz showed speed in his 1 win, but Shaz can definitely rate. I'll admit that. But the point is, a lot of speed. And I think this really might set up for a closer. So my top pick, and I think it's a really hard race, so I probably don't get too cute in this race. I'm going to just try to pick the winner. And I'm going to go Rated R Superstar, who I think gets the rail draw, gets to save some ground. The speed's going to fall apart, I think. And this horse can fire big. Has fired big and won graded stakes, okay? And I've had money on this horse when it's won, and I've had money on this horse when it's lost. Your pick, Popular Kid, has beaten Rated R Superstar on many occasions, okay? So those 2 make sense. But I'm going to lean towards Rated R Superstar, who actually is on top of my chart, gets the A+ grade, gets the spot play designation. I got to just go with that. It's a tough race, but I'm hoping for a pace breakdown, and this horse is as solid as they come. And I hope I get 10-1. I don't know if I'm going to get 10-1, but I think I'm going to get, at least 8-1, something around that. But good pick. And yours is definitely you're going to get, I think, 15-1 on Popular Kid. So it's a good pick.
Thank you. I think that, I don't see Rated R Superstar being anything higher than the 4th or 5th choice in here. So
yeah,
I think that all the horses that are going to take significant money, and there's a couple of them, if you're against them, this is a great spot to end your sequence with a price. And those ones make a lot of sense.
Yeah. The other horse I liked is Silver Prospector. Last couple efforts weren't great and was beaten by Rated R Superstar 4 back. Decent little horse, though. I just don't like that horse with the 10 hole. Not really very fast early. And I think it's going to get caught wide in that first turn and get shuffled back. So I like the horse. Horse is a solid horse. I think the horse got a bad draw and it's going to be too tough to overcome. All righty. Well, that covers the 6 races. It's going to be a fun day. Looking forward to hitting a few of these. We gave out a lot of prices, a lot of value you can take advantage of in both Sarah's picks and in mine. And feel free to shoot us any questions or an email. And any final comments from you, Sarah?
No, just that I'm excited for you to be at the track tomorrow. I heard that they're giving away a 2022 Ford Escape, so maybe that'll be yours to drive home.
I got to figure out how to enter those. I never enter them, but I got to figure out. I didn't know that. Thank you. Ford Escape online.
Oh,
Okay.
yours. Yes. You're going to be driving away with all of your money after you hit this 50-cent base pick 6 tomorrow, and then you'll be joining HRN. So maybe you'll give us a ride in your new vehicle when we visit Texas.
Yes, you got it. However, if I don't win the Ford Escape and you ever come to Texas, I'll give you a ride in my 2-seater convertible.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll have some fun. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your Memorial Day weekend as we remember this weekend where people have died in combat for our country. And, a lot of sad times lately, but let's stay positive. Remember the heroes that really do exist in our country, and have a great weekend. Take care.